I'm really thinking of like usually when I get something positive in my life, I wish everyone should have that as well. Um, and I'm thinking of my community, of our country and our people in Pakistan, especially in the rural areas where um, there is no availability or nobody talks about health education. um, and everyone has this, every second person, especially after 50s or 40s even, they have this big file of the prescriptions from different doctors,
Yeah.
and they go from doctor to doctor, and some says one thing, other doctors say different thing. They have a lot of x-rays and a lot of tests, everything. And then they carry this heavy load of prescriptions, changing every few months, every weeks sometime,
with many side effects.
with many harmful, disastrous effects on their health. And nobody, I mean, there is no, there is there is no health education or in curriculum or in schools and in universities, especially in schools. Our curriculum don't have health education. So if our children learn how to keep themselves healthy by taking the right kind of food and by having regular exercises, I think that's it. That learning will go with them for their lifelong. And that little change in habits, little change in habit of taking the right food and having some little work on your own body, that changes everything. So really I wish that our people, rather than building lots of hospitals and private hospitals, and uh, we should like focus on building more gyms, more places for exercise, more playgrounds. There was a famous saying once I heard that the country where the playgrounds are crowded, the hospitals are empty. And that's true. So I wish that we we promote this culture of like health education and promote awareness about health, that how one can keep oneself healthy. The problem is that when we are ill or we have some health issues, we always think outside of our bodies. Oh, I have this issue and I'm like a car and I should be taken to the workshop. So we are different. Automobiles are different kind of machinery, machines. We are different type of machines than a car and a bus. We have an immune system and we have an auto correction system which helps. And we should be our first doctors to go to our own body and bring those small changes which can bring big impact and which can transform our health and lives.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think in our communities, in our culture, especially in Swath, we have adopted these new technologies such as like cars and things like that, but everything else hasn't caught up. People are now not walking as much.
Yeah.
They're very sedentary. And we also have this culture of respect for elders, which is good. But that also comes with when a person gets older, then the younger people do everything for them.
Exactly, you're right.
So
yes.
then
Yes.
as people get older, the more they stay in their home, the more they're stationary and the more unwell they get. And it is really devastating to people's health. Everyone, like you said, a whole cabinet full of medications
Yes.
that, like Khushal said, has like really bad side effects. So we should definitely be encouraging people to be more active, because now it's even the younger generation. They're on like they're watching TV or they're on TikTok all day instead of playing cricket or playing
Yeah.
football, which was more prevalent in, I think, my dad's generation and the generation above. So what can we actually do to like push this more? Do you think it needs to be in the curriculum, or do you think we can implement some sort of like cultural shifts?
We all can contribute to it, as you said so beautifully. That I mean, this culture of taking care of elders, and then they become like dependent. Otherwise, they are quite healthy.
Yeah.
And we make them dependent because we are young and now they are old, and like Khushal should be doing everything for me because I'm in 50s now. Malala and him and Atal are supposed to do everything, and I should just bask in the sun, laying on my bed under a tree, kind of. That's very harmful for me. So what we can do, I think we can use all sorts of mediums, all sorts of platforms, from curriculum to social awareness about health, social awareness programs. You might have heard about free medical camps in Pakistan. Like there is a big culture of free medical camps.
Wow.
Like this is the kind of like, as the public health system can't meet the needs of the people to treat them. So here and there in rural areas, especially, sometimes in urban areas as well, some volunteers, doctors, some organizations, they hold these free medical camps, and people come and they meet them, and then they are examined, and then they are given medicine on free. But I think that more than having that practice, I mean, some people may need that as well. But it should be coupled, the integral part, and the main part of such camps should be awareness rather than just distribution of medicines. It should be more about, like just one example. If people know two things, very small two things, that they should wash their hands properly with a good piece of what that is soap. I'm soup. Soap.
Soap, yeah.
Okay. With a good piece of soap, if they are advised that they must wash their hands, like cleanliness, which is has been advised and emphatically advised by Islam as well. So if this one change will protect them from many diseases. Similarly, what should they eat if they are guided about it? And also they should take clean water. Like I was watching news a few days ago on a Pakistani private channel, and there was like a government was boasting, like they were bragging about that they are going to train more gastrologists. What is called, like
Gastroenterologist.
yeah, gastroenterologists, like to train more and more gastroenterologists, because there are a lot of people ill and they need more and more doctors. And I was thinking that if they had wisdom, then they would have like asked people or provided people with clean water rather than providing them with a lot of doctors. I had this gastrointestinal issues in Pakistan for almost 43 years. Like as a child, I had issues, and then when I was in Mingora, I had like gastrointestinal issues. I went to doctors as well. It was so frustrating. And for the last 12 years that we have moved to the UK, I have had no issue with my stomach and with my gastrointestinal system. Why? Because I take clean water here.
Yeah. Prevention is
So,
always better than
exactly. So the government's approach is also very unwise, or not
It doesn't
how
get
can-
to the root, to the cause.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's just trying to cure
superficial,
the symptoms.
cosmetic, like they are treating symptoms.
Yeah.
So rather than providing clean water to every home, to every family, they want to have one doctor for every family. Okay, they are just on medicines for all their life. That is disastrous.
Yeah.
So I mean, and also we should have programs in media, like in social media. People are already, I think, they are sharing their stories about how to keep oneself fit. That is good, but also there should be more stories and more programs on televisions in Pakistan, like on Pakistan Television Network, and also private channels should come forward and they should introduce health programs for the awareness of health. That will also help a lot.
100%. Like there's this culture of like, you said about people just go doctors and they prescribe them with pills, and people think that they are the good doctors.
Yeah.
When here the doctors are pretty much like the last resort is to give you antibiotics.
Exactly.
Because the more antibiotics you take, the more you are the
weakens
resistance.
your immunity.
Yeah, the more resistant you build,
In the long
and
run,
and
this-
then the weaker your immune system becomes.
Yeah.
So like there is that culture we also need to break and things of that nature. And I don't know if it's unwise or if it's almost exploitative, that instead of the government teaching these, like making these prevention courses and avoiding the problem in first place, educating people on basic diet education and exercise, like basic health education.
Yeah.
They just, all their energy is going on fixing the causes. Fixing the symptom rather than the cause.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a big issue with Pakistan is that there's so many different problems to fix. I think they don't know what to do. I think only like 20% of the population has access to clean water,
Yes.
which
Tragic.
is
Then you can imagine that.
Yes. Yeah.
really-
If 80% of the population is taking dirty water or contaminated water, so you can think about their health.
Yeah,
Yes,
and I think in
obviously.
cities like Karachi, there's now mafias over water. where
I
they-
mean, here, that's why I emphasize on awareness, because so many things could be done by individuals, by families, by the people. If government is unable to provide clean water to every home, then at least there should be awareness programs that the people should know that they should boil water, then cool it down, and then drink it.
I think that's a really good idea.
That is the cheapest and the simplest solution for having clean water, unless we are a developed country and we can provide every home with the facility of clean water. So it will take time, but my final word will be on this, that we need to create a healthy culture for health. And then we will have a healthier and happier society and a country.
That's beautifully said. Should we end it there?
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so
We
much.
don't need to ask you the last question again because we've done that a few
Thank you so
times
much
already.
for having me. And I have been on this podcast for so many times.
It's the hat trick
It's a
now.
hat trick.
It's
It's
a
a
hat
third
trick
one.
now because I'm always available. And I like your podcast. You are doing great job.
Thank you.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck with all your work. And thank you so much.